What is a complete human? Is it a cover model? Is it a science geek? Is it a fitness expert? Or all of the above and more? Jana and Evan are crusaders that walk the earth looking at today's issues that touch our hearts and minds. The honest and hopeful outlook on the advancement of today's society. The science behind the decay of human relationships. The necessary preparations for future generations. Join us as we look deep inside ourselves and embark on a journey into becoming a complete human.
How did you and Jana meet?
We met a couple years ago, and you were working with a supplement company.
Mhm.
I was still doing like influencering.
I love how you turned that into a verb.
Yeah, I did. I was still doing that sort of stuff. And then I think you reached out at that time, or the company reached out, and, I started working with the company that you were doing marketing for.
Mhm.
And that's how we, I guess, got introduced to each other.
Yep.
So we kind of been working with each other from the beginning,
Yeah.
from the start.
Yeah. And then, just to expand on that one is that, shortly after that, maybe not shortly, about 6 to 7 months after that, we decided to go to Costa Rica. I brought a bunch of influencers down to support XPT, Laird Hamilton and Gabby Reese. And I loved that event. It was really a fascinating event, just to see those two in their work in personal relationship, just to see the type of experience that they created, to be in Costa Rica with some amazing people doing some of the craziest shit I've ever done.
Yeah.
And I think one of the fun parts about that was just getting to know you. And it was kind of funny. It's a health and wellness retreat. But yet you and I shut the bar down every single night. and by that, I think it was like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I got to know you. I think we got to know each other. And it was, that was a blast.
It was super. It was one of the best trips ever.
Yeah.
Love Costa Rica. And actually, Laird and Gabby are such a great example of doing business and also relationship with. And I think it was really awesome to be with them too at that time. I mean, obviously we were, there for work at that time, but it's so nice to look back and view them as almost examples of how to run a health and wellness company as a couple.
Yeah, absolutely. So then that leads into the question of what is the story behind Complete Human?
Well, it started off as Life to the Max, if you OG or people remember back in the day, if anyone cared at that point. So it was a podcast.
It was a podcast.
Yeah.
And it began in Peru.
Yeah, we went to Peru with Whitney Johns, our buddy, and had such a great time. And after Evan and I are just, frolicking through the mountains of Peru and doing ayahuasca and meeting people and just, so many amazing experiences there. And also recognizing just what other, that's a third world country.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, eye-opening and recognition that happen when you go to places like that. And we got really inspired to just tell stories about, things that are happening in the world, who is making the world a better place. And that's originally kind of how it started.
Yeah, and it was funny because we went from there and then came back to the States, and it was 10 days later that we were at the Spartan World Championships in Tahoe.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that we decided, let's do a podcast, call it Life to the Max. It'll be, inspiring a better world. And so, we basically, we had this massive house with Whitney and Ingrid and I don't know. We had so many people there.
Mo was there.
Brian was there. It was such a great time. But you and I podcasted for the first time with Dr. Laura and Chase Tuning and some of the amazing people in this space. And that was the origin story of this, was our desire that came out of, Costa Rica and then ultimately Peru to educate and inspire healthier people for a healthier planet. Now that mission has evolved a little bit over time.
Yes.
But that was the origin story. It was really kind of our symbiotic desire to do something of value in this world.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. Complete Human has definitely evolved. Now we've got supplements, we've got cryo tubs. There's other buckets of the company that we're developing as we speak. And it's really exciting stuff. So we're very invested in each other.
Yes. Which then brings the question, what sparked the intimate relationship?
You know, Evan and I have said this from the beginning, but we just feel like we have known each other before this lifetime. It's hard to explain, but we have just, it's been very magnetic. And that's how I've always looked at our relationship, is just, you know, very magnetic. And it's just, it's easy with you, or, you know, and it's just been amazing. It truly is. So I don't know, that it's what sparked it. Just, it was just there. It was clear. It was obvious. Couldn't really hide from it.
Yep. Although we did for a while, and I think that's, you know, that was the point of that, is we did, you know, we started down this business venture, and then, you know, ultimately, you know, you were in a relationship, you got divorced, and then you came up to Sacramento to work, and then you never left.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to get rid of you since.
I know exactly. I know I got my own place in San Diego after I filed, and I had my own place for like 2 months or something. And then COVID happened. This was literally at the exact beginning of 2020. COVID happened. I came up here to Sacramento for work. We had something going on. I wasn't sure, but literally like weeks later, I was only supposed to be here for a couple of days, but I just never left. And I just, you know, we were like, wow, we can cohabitate together. We get along well. It's fun to be around you every day. This is easy, right? It was nice. It was really nice. And so that's kind of when, you know, decided to officially make the move up here. Mm-hmm. And here we are.
Here we are.